so easy, they take you for granted. They don't know they're just misunderstanding. You're back at it again. Weekends, when you get deep in, he starts secretly drinking. It gets hard to know what he's thinking. You love a fool who knows just how to get under your skin. You still open the door. You're no closer to him now that you're halfway home, only calling you when don't wanna be alone. Oh, and you go, why you don't know. Boyfriends, are they just pretending? They don't tell you where it's heading, and you know the game, it's never ending. You lay with him as you stay in the daydream. Feel a fool, you're back at it again. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Boyfriends by Harry Styles. Some really lovely acoustic guitar playing in this song. I'm going to take you through the chords first of all, so you might be able to kind of strum it if you weren't too hip with your fingerstyle, but I am going to take you through some details of the finger picking patterns that are going on there as well, and some of the embellishments. Worth noting, on the original recording there are two distinct guitar parts panned left and right, so one in the left speaker, one in the right speaker. They are playing different things at the same time, but in a very complementary way. So if you want to get a little bit more detail in this song, then you might want to check out like listening to just one earbud and getting a bit more detail on one particular guitar part. What I'm going to be teaching you is kind of an amalgamation, in some ways a simplification, like I'm going to teach a consistent finger picking pattern, whereas on the record there are a few little variations that you might want to check out if you want to really nail it down exactly like the record. But let's start off by having a look at the chords. So first thing to notice is the capo at the 5th fret there. I'm going to describe everything relative to the capo. So if I say the 3rd fret, I mean 3 frets above the capo, not the actual 3rd fret. So the first chord we need is a G chord. We're going to use this very specific grip here. We want the 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the thicker string. That's also going to mute the 5th string. We got 3 open strings, and we're going to put little finger down on the 3rd fret of the thinner string. Now, even though we're not actually targeting the thinner string very much in the fingerstyle patterns, it's quite possible that you might accidentally touch that string. And if you do, we want a good note to be ringing out. So that's why I'd recommend that you put the little finger down, even though we're not going to be particularly targeting that note. Now, the intro has a little thing where we hammer down the 1st and 2nd fingers. Okay, 1st finger's hammering down in the 1st fret of the 2nd string, 2nd finger's hammering down in the 2nd fret on the 4th string. Now, obviously, I'm going to take you through more detail on the finger picking pattern in a bit, but maybe just start with strumming that G chord and hammering the 1st and 2nd finger down. It's good practice. You won't be able to do it with the fingerstyle if you can't even do it just with a chord and a strum. So strum, hammer. Okay, get a little bit used to doing that first of all. So then we get into the verse. I'm going to be strumming twice per bar. It's 6/8 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I'm feeling it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So into the verse. So we start with that G chord. Boyfriends, they think you're so decoy. They take you A minor. C. They don't D, they're G miss under E minor, A minor. You C, you D, you're back at it again. And there's that little fill which we'll look at a little bit more in a sec. Second verse, exactly the same thing, may as well. Weekend, when you get D in, he starts strictly A minoring. C, it gets D to G, what he's E minoring, A minor. A fool D, who knows just how to G under E minor, A minor. You C, you D, you open the door. Now we're to the bridge. We're singing to him. Now that you're G with an F sharp bass to E minor, sing to him. Don't wanna G E minor, oh, and you A7. Why you don't D? Now, obviously, I'm going to go over a little bit more of that bridge in a bit of detail. There's some single line stuff there as well. Finishes just the same, another verse. May as well go through it. Hey, so G friends, are they just a D chord? They don't tell where it's A minor. C, and you D, the G's never E minoring, A minor. As you G in the E minor, A minor. You C, feel a fool, you're back at it again. So that's the chords. You really want to make sure that you've got the chords and the chord progression and how long you're staying on each chord down first of all. I recommend just writing the chords out, play along with the original recording, just as I was doing with real simple strumming. If you understand the format and the arrangement first of all, it makes it a lot easier when you add in the complication of the fingerstyle pattern. Let's get in, check that out next. Absolutely beautiful little intro that. Starting with the thumb playing the thicker string, then thumb plays the fourth string, first finger plays the third string, and then we go back to the thumb playing the fourth string. Now it might be tempting to think that it should be this, thumb, 1, 2, 1, but really for the style of the finger picking, you want to do thumb, thumb, 1, thumb. And now we're playing thumb, playing the fourth string, second finger playing the second string, and we do this picking them, hammer the first and second finger out. And then we're back at that start, but this time we play thumb and the second finger is going to play the second string as well. Very first time the thumb is just played alone. Every subsequent time, thumb and second finger together. Thumb and second finger together. Thumb, one, thumb. Thumb and second finger with the hammer on. And then back to thumb and second finger. The rhythmic count is actually a little bit tricky to think about, so I'd recommend probably just listening to it, but I am going to give you the technical count as well so you understand what's going on. Like I mentioned, it's in 6/8, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you've of course got and in between, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Okay, that would be the technical thing that's going on here with the 6/8 time. This particular riff is doing this: 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Okay, it's that second hammer on starting on the and after 5 that makes it feel a little bit weird for the count. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3. 5 and 6, 1, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. It is just one of those things where a little bit of practice will sort it out for you, but you just need to practice it nice and slowly and make sure you get that rhythm right. Either just playing along with the original recording, maybe slowing that down. If you're using transcribing software, you could slow down the original track and play along a little bit. That would work, but probably playing it on your own as well and just being really conscious of the time would be a good step as well. The pattern for most of the rest of the song is this. Which is thumb and second finger playing together, then thumb playing the fourth, in this case the fourth string, but very lightly, and then first finger playing the third string, thumb playing the fourth string again. 4, 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 5 and 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. I often hear it as kind of sounding like da ba dum ba da dum ba, but when you listen closely, I do hear that da. It's just that 1, 2 and 3. The 2 is played really quietly. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 6. So you want to spend a bit of time on that first of all before you go any further, just playing that through. Getting used to the feeling of it on the G. Now when we move to a D chord, we play exactly the same pattern, but we're going to use the thinnest 4 strings. So thumb and second finger on the 4th string and the thinnest string, then it's just the strings 2 and 3. We go to the A minor, that whole shape moves down a string, or up a string rather, so the middle 4 strings. And very often we get this little step between this A minor, 4, 5, 6, second finger moves to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, just for that one note. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. C. C is exactly the same pattern as the A minor, middle 4 strings. Then to D, everything jumps down. G. Okay, so G again, just like before. E minor, exactly the same pattern as G. A minor. go through that verse now all of the way through. So, boyfriends, they think you're so decoy, they take you for A minor. C, they don't D, they're G under E minor, A minor. Back at it again. Verse 2 is pretty much the same, but there are some variations coming in now on the splitting of these two guitar parts. So there are a few little embellishments that you might like to throw in there. It's up to you. I think the very first time I hear that little riff happening as well, on the very first weekend, when you get deep in, you start secretly drinking. So on the A minor, you've got a hammer-on option there with the first finger, and also hammering the little finger down 3 fret on fret 3 of the second string. Got a few different variations there on the A minor. C to D. With the D chord, you've got a hammer on with the second finger. It's just an option. These things are just things that you might want to play around with. I'm not trying to show you exactly the ones that were on the record because it's too complicated to try and nail down all of these slight variations. So they're just things that you might want to experiment with. Remember, if you're doing a cover of a song like this, while it's great learning the original one, the original recording, there's things to learn from doing that. If you're doing it on your own, you can make it up and add your own variations in and make it your version. I think that's something to be encouraged. So, second verse. We can, when you get D chord, you start secretly A minoring. See, it gets hard to know what he's thinking. Quite often there's a little step there as well between the G. So G, F sharp, that's the second fret on the thickest string. G, what he's thinking. A minor, you knows just how to G under your skin. A minor, you still open the door. Now we get to the bridge, a little bit more complicated. It starts with a C chord, same pattern as usual. You're no closer to him now that you're half. This is now that you're half. Third fret, second fret, open on the fifth string, G. Closer to him now that you're halfway home. So this is G with an F sharp bass to E minor. Don't wanna be alone, and now you go. This is an A7. Okay, same pattern as the A minor. Why you don't D, and then there's just got a strum on the D. That bridge once through, so C chord to him. It's now that you're G with an F sharp bass to E minor. Seeing you when C, B, A, G, F sharp bass to E minor. Oh, and you A7. Why you don't D? So verse 3 is essentially the same as the other verses. Maybe there are a few extra variations there in the separation between the two different guitar parts. Definitely something I'd encourage you to explore if you're getting into recording, is this idea of having essentially kind of the same part with different variations going on the two different speakers. It's really beautifully produced, this song. Like most of the songs off this record, they're impeccably recorded and really nice kind of organic feeling guitar parts. It's not sterile or looped. There are variations. There's little things where it's slightly clashing, but in a really beautiful way. Definitely, explore it on your own, but don't feel like you have to try and nail down exactly those variations unless you're in a Harry Styles tribute band and you're really trying to nail it just like the record. I think there's a lot of growth to happen there for you if you figure out your own variations. Like I said, don't do too many, but explore them. Feel free to just I'm going to try doing this one here and that one there. Don't get in the way of the voice is the other thing that's important there. You don't want to be trying to do too many variations that clash with the singing. The vocal is what most listeners are going to be listening to, so try and stay aware of that. But yeah, really beautiful song, really nice finger picking pattern in 6/8 there for you to check out. It's not super ordinary, it's not super complicated, but a really nice one to play. I really hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Do subscribe if you dig what I do. I really appreciate your support. Loads more stuff over on the website and loads more songs from this record as well. So have yourselves a fantastic day and loads of guitar fun. I'll see you for more very soon. Bye bye.